Hey guys, I'm Marcus with Drive and Be Driven, reporting to you out here in bright and breezy South Florida. And this week I have the Atlas Cross Sport, courtesy of my peeps over at Volkswagen. Today we are going to go over the top 5 areas where Volkswagen really hit it on the nose with the Atlas Cross Sport, as well as the top 5 areas where Volkswagen sort of missed the mark. So let's get started. Now I do have a playlist of videos covering the Atlas Cross Sport, so if you are interested in knowing more information about this vehicle, feel free to click in the upper right hand corner of your screen. Also down in the description box below, I have a blog article covering the Atlas Cross Sport as well, so if you fancy the reading side, you definitely want to check that article out. Also, I would truly appreciate it if you could please subscribe to the Drive and Be Driven YouTube channel, as well as leave this video with a thumbs up. Both of those two simple actions let me know that you enjoy what you see so far, and that you definitely want to continue seeing awesome content like this. It truly helps with the algorithm, so just please leave a like as well as subscribe down below. But of course, without further ado, today we are going to cover the top 5 most compelling aspects of the Atlas Cross Sport, as well as the top 5 areas that left me wanting just a little bit more. So, cue the intro. Alright guys, let's first kick off this countdown with where Volkswagen missed the mark. Alright, in the number 5 spot for things that I would like to see Volkswagen rectify in the future is going to come down to this key fob design that we have here. The overall key fob is not going to be lacking when it comes to ergonomics. Everything is basically where you would expect it to be, and it's very functional. But I'm not a huge fan of the overall material choices and the overall feel of this key fob. I feel like Volkswagen sort of overlooked it in my opinion. I was definitely expecting for this key fob to exude a more robust, upscale, and premium ambiance like a lot of its competitors' key fobs exude. This key fob, on the other hand, feels a bit more on the plasticky, hollow, and dated side of the spectrum, and definitely is not going to fool anyone into thinking that you are driving a premium vehicle, because there's nothing too premium about this key fob at all. It's not going to be a deal breaker, but something I would like to see rectified. Now, in the number 4 spot for areas that I would like to see Volkswagen rectify in the future is going to come down to these headlights here. Now, it's not going to be the overall performance of the headlights, because according to the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety, these headlights actually received a good rating, which is the highest rating, but it's actually going to come down to the overall availability of the features. You're not going to get any type of LED turn signal indicators up front, but you are going to get those out back, interestingly enough. Surprisingly, you cannot get front LED turn signal indicators no matter how much money you are willing to spend towards your Atlas Cross Sport, which is a bit disheartening, especially since the bulk of its competitors are either going to offer LED turn signal indicators as standard equipment or optional equipment. Alright, so slotting in the number 3 spot for where Volkswagen sort of missed the mark is going to come down to the powertrain warranty. Volkswagen is only going to offer you a 50,000 mile powertrain warranty, which is going to be less than the majority of its key competitors. If you're looking at vehicles such as the Ford Edge, the Chevy Blazer, the Nissan Murano, the Honda Passport, the Subaru Outback, and even that Jeep Grand Cherokee, they're all going to offer a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. And if you are even looking at something like that Hyundai Santa Fe, it's going to offer that best-in-class 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. But luckily, Volkswagen is not going to keep you completely in the dust, because your bumper-to-bumper warranty is going to be slightly higher than the class average of 3 years, 36,000 miles. Volkswagen is once again going to offer you that 4-year, 50,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. And to help close that gap even more, Volkswagen is going to offer you that free complimentary maintenance for your first 2 years. So it's not going to be a deal breaker that Volkswagen is going to be offering you a year less, as well as 10,000 miles less than basically all of its competitors. But it's just something to definitely keep in mind if you are out in the search for a vehicle that is going to offer you the longest warranty. Alright guys, so in the number 2 spot for where Volkswagen sort of missed the mark, we are going to find ourselves within the interior. And it's going to mainly be due to the decent but not incredible interior feel and design. Essentially, this is going to be the exact same that you are going to find inside of your Atlas, your 3-row Atlas, which is not going to be a terrible thing, but the interior is just not going to exude the most premium and upscale ambiance within this class. Most of its competitors are going to feature a bit more of a premium and borderline luxury interior, while instead of the Atlas Cross Sport, I feel like this interior is just undeniably more on that rugged and utilitarian side of the spectrum. Everything is that same one material, so it gives the vibe that it's a bit more on the basic and economy side. So I definitely would like to see Volkswagen improve on that in the future by offering some varying materials, which a lot of other competitors are going to offer in this exact same price range. All right, guys, so in the number 1 spot, we are going to find ourselves underneath the hood of the Atlas Cross Sport, because it is going to come down to the fuel efficiency of the overall powertrain of this vehicle within the mid-size crossover segment. Let's go ahead and open up the hood. It's extremely easy. All you have to do is push this little lever right here, and your hood is going to open up basically automatically there. And if you are looking at what's under the hood here, this is going to be your entry-level 2-liter turbocharged engine. And your second engine option is going to be a V6, which is going to be a naturally aspirated 3.6-liter. In its most fuel-efficient setting, which is going to be with this 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with front-wheel drive, you're going to be looking at 22 miles per gallon combined. If you go for the model that we have here, which features all-wheel drive, you're going to see a drop to 20 miles per gallon combined. And if you go for your V6 versions, whether it's front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, you're going to be looking at 19 miles per gallon combined. All in all, if you're looking at the overall competitive set, the Jeep Grand Cherokee is going to feature 21 miles per gallon combined, which is going to be less than the most fuel-efficient version of the Atlas Cross Sport. But you have to keep in mind that the Jeep Grand Cherokee comes with the V6 right out of the gate, meaning it is going to be about 3 miles per gallon more fuel efficient than the V6 version of the Atlas Cross Sport. If you're looking at the Honda Passport, that's also going to be more fuel efficient, featuring around 22 miles per gallon combined with, once again, a V6 offering. Even the Nissan Murano is going to feature V6 and all-wheel drive, and will be able to offer 23 miles per gallon combined, which is quite a bit more than the 19 miles per gallon combined found under the hood of the Atlas Cross Sport. So just keep that in mind. And if you are looking for something that is going to be the most fuel efficient in this segment, you'll probably want to look at that Toyota Venza Hybrid, which is also going to feature all-wheel drive and a whopping 39 miles per gallon combined. Volkswagen is going to give you some fuel efficiency enhancing features. For example, you are going to get that engine start-stop functionality, as well as an 8-speed automatic transmission and even an eco drive mode, which is going to help you get slightly better fuel efficiency. But even with all of those things working together, the Atlas Cross Sport is going to get slightly lower than average fuel economy within this class. All right, guys, now at this point in the video, I would truly appreciate if you could please subscribe to the Driving Me Driven YouTube channel. It truly helps out with the algorithm, and I absolutely love making these videos for you all. So if you could please just subscribe, as well as leave this video with a thumbs up. Both of those actions are definitely going to go a long way. Also, I would truly appreciate if you could comment down below letting me know if you agree with my selection so far. But of course, without further ado, let's continue with this video. All right, guys, now on a more positive note, let's go ahead and segue onto the areas where Volkswagen really hit it on the nose with the Atlas Cross Sport. Here we are finding ourselves in the interior once again, but this time in the hits section, and it's going to come down to the overall rather commendable in-cabin technology that Volkswagen is going to pack inside of this vehicle. So if you go for your SEL and above trim levels, you are going to get a fully digital gauge cluster there. It is going to be a 10.25-inch screen, very reminiscent of what's found in some Audi products. I'm really impressed with the overall ergonomics, the feel, how quick and responsive it is, and the overall appearance. It's very vibrant during the day, and even at night, it doesn't get washed out at all. So I have to give Volkswagen props for that. And then segue away from there, and right here you are going to notice a pretty commendable screen here as well. There's going to be an 8-inch screen, not going to be the largest screen out there, but the overall ergonomics and technologically advanced features embedded within it is going to be quite spectacular. It's going to be extremely swift and easy to use. I mean, you click on anything and it is going to do it with a swiftness, which I definitely had to commend Volkswagen for. You can see your navigation loads up extremely quick. All in all, this is a very snappy head unit, and this is only going to be on your SE and above trim level. But if you don't really care too much about it, you can just go for your entry-level S model, which is going to come with a smaller 6.5-inch center screen here. All right, guys, so in the number 4 spot for Volkswagen really hit it on the nose with the Atlas Cross Sport is going to come down to the fact that this vehicle is going to offer a surprisingly unexpected value proposition if you are going for your lower end trim levels. And that's because the Atlas Cross Sport is actually going to be priced $1,000 less than your traditional 3-row Atlas models. And that is going to translate to the Atlas Cross Sport actually being priced $1,000 to $2,000 less expensive than your entry-level base competitors if you're looking at the mid-size 2-row family crossover segment. So that's definitely going to be pretty impressive, and I honestly wasn't expecting that. So if you're the type of person looking for base models, the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport should definitely find its way on your list, since it is going to undercut the majority of its competitors. All right, so snagging the number 3 spot is going to be the bold exterior swagger that this vehicle exudes without being overly offensive. Looking at this overall vehicle's design here, it sort of is borderline concept-like, all in all giving your side windows profile sort of a squinted look, which is definitely traditional amongst most concept-like vehicles. You're also going to have a nice contrast of design elements as well. You're going to have lots of horizontal design elements and boxy design elements all over the place. Up front, you're going to notice how it is going to be a bit more boxy, horizontal and vertical. Even your wheel arcs are going to have more of a boxy appearance to them. And your wheels themselves are going to be absolutely massive. These particular ones are 20 inches, but you can even option up to 21-inch rims on this vehicle. And even the width gets pretty wide as well. I believe you can get up to 265 width tires. Those are pretty thick rubber on this vehicle, but it's all nicely contrasted with this sleek sloping roofline here. So all in all, I feel like the package that Volkswagen is offering you with this vehicle is rather tasteful and attractive to the naked eye. And all in all, this vehicle is going to appeal to a new consumer in the Volkswagen lineup, because previously all Volkswagen had was the more compact Tiguan and the much larger 3-row Atlas. There was never anything in between, and that was the case ever since Volkswagen pulled out of this segment back in 2017 by taking out the Volkswagen Touareg from US markets. But now here we are, and if you're like me and you're not really too sold on the fact that this is a cross sport because it doesn't really look all that sporty, Volkswagen is going to offer you an R-Line package, which is only going to be available on your V6 models, so it is going to make this vehicle definitely live more up to that sport moniker. All right, guys, here we are finding ourselves once again within the interior of this vehicle, but this time we're in the back seats, and that's because where the Atlas Cross Sport lacks as far as interior opulence goes, it is going to excel when it comes to overall interior spaciousness. This vehicle is going to offer a remarkably spacious cabin for the segment. You're actually going to be riding on the exact same wheelbase as your 3-row Atlas. So you're going to be riding on that same 117.3-inch wheelbase. As a result, this vehicle is going to be offering very, very impressive legroom numbers for this segment. In fact, this vehicle is going to offer 3 inches more legroom than the traditional Atlas with those 3 rows of seats. And that's because Volkswagen has positioned this second row of seats 3 inches more rearward, so that's definitely going to be a plus. You can see right here that I can cross my legs up, and I mean, literally, you can't really do this in too many vehicles, but the Atlas Cross Sport is going to be able to do that. And I have this front seat adjusted to my comfort at 6 feet tall, so it's very, very accommodating in this back seat. The only area where the Atlas Cross Sport is going to be a little bit less than a lot of its key competitors is going to be as far as headroom goes. You're going to be looking at 37.8 inches of headroom, which is going to be less than the typical norm for this class, which is around 39 to 40 inches of headroom. And as far as the versatility and motion of these rear seats, you can recline them forward and backwards, so that's pretty neat. You just pull this little lever on the side, and you can actually recline them quite a bit inside this vehicle. It's actually pretty impressive. So all in all, it is very, very accommodating in this back seat. All right, guys, so continuing with the trend of spaciousness, we find ourselves in the back end of the Atlas Cross Sport, and that's because this vehicle is actually going to be boasting one of the largest trunks in its class. So opening up the trunk, you are going to be looking at 40.3 cubic feet of space with those rear seats folded up, which is actually going to be larger than basically the majority of its competitors except that Honda Passport. This vehicle is going to offer about 10 cubic feet more than something like your Chevy Blazer. Fold down those rear seats, it's going to expand to 77.8 cubic feet of space, which once again is going to be larger than virtually all of its competitors. It is going to be right around the same size as something like your Honda Passport, which is going to offer 77.9 cubic feet of space. But just for comparison, this trunk is going to be larger than your Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is going to feature about 10 cubic feet less with those rear seats folded down. But of course, this is just glossing over the cargo area. If you want to know even more information about the trunk of this vehicle, feel free to click in the upper right hand corner of your screen. I am going to be going a lot more in detail about how much stuff can actually fit into the trunk, as well as the overall cargo area furnishings and versatility. So if you want to know more information about that, definitely you should check that video out. All right guys, well there you have it, the top 5 hits as well as top 5 misses of the Atlas Cross Sport. Huge thanks to my peeps over at Volkswagen for loaning me this vehicle for the week. Well, that's it for this right off the bat review. Comment and tell me what you would like to see in future videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is Marcus, and thanks for watching Drive and Be Driven. Keep it positive, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I'm Marcus with Drive and Be Driven, and here comes another ant plan to ruin my day. Come on now. Come on now. Hit it. Oh! Okay. 3, 2. I'm gonna try and flip it too. So let's get started. Oh my gosh. A 10.25 inch gauge You can become a Drive and Be Driven driver today. Just simply click the subscribe button and you will become a part of the Drive and Be Driven circle. Subscribing will allow you to stay up to date with the Drive and Be Driven YouTube channel. Thank you to all of my current Drive and Be Driven drivers for driving me towards my goals and dreams. Stay subscribed for more awesome videos like this one.